Hi friends, my name is Kim. Welcome to Healing Place Cottage. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm so happy to have you with me today. Today we're going to make a recipe from Taste of Home's The Busy Family Cookbook. This recipe can be found on page 98 and it's honey mustard chicken. I was looking for something with minimal ingredients that I could make quickly as we're coming out of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And the first thing we're going to do is melt 2 tablespoons of butter in our skillet. And it says to flatten our chicken to 1/4 inch thickness. I cut my chicken in half. And in a shallow bowl, combine breadcrumbs, so 1 cup of dry breadcrumbs and 1 teaspoon of honey mustard. So I only have panko breadcrumbs, so we're going to use that rather than standard breadcrumbs. Use about a cup of that. And it seems odd to add our mustard to this, so it calls for 2 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of mustard. So we'll mix that up. Not easily, apparently. So I'm going to tell you, honestly, I am very disappointed today because I weighed this morning, and after the Thanksgiving holiday, it appears that I gained 2 pounds. And what's most disappointing to me in that is that I didn't overindulge. I can tell you the 2 things that I think did it, which makes me very sad, are I had a soda, so I had a sun-kissed orange, and I had a piece of pumpkin pie with Cool Whip. So in another shallow bowl, combine honey. So we're going to combine 3 tablespoons of honey. Looks good. And 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. We're going to give those a whisk. And we're going to dip the chicken in the honey mustard and then coat with breadcrumbs. That looks very good. We'll dip it in our honey mustard. Then in our breadcrumbs. We're going to go ahead and put this in our skillet. Do the other chicken breasts. And it says we're going to, in a non-stick skillet, we're going to cook over medium heat in butter for 4 to 6 minutes on each side, or until juices run clear. So I am going to go ahead and wash my hands. And then when we come back, we'll flip our chicken. Go ahead and flip our chicken. And so as I mentioned, I had, I didn't do Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving Day. I think I shared with you that my son and daughter-in-law and my granddaughters went to Michigan to be with her family. And so we didn't celebrate with my family until Friday, and we did pizza. I ate a very minimal amount of pizza. I don't know if you're familiar with the Dayton area pizza, but pizza in our area is cut, it's a thin crust, and it's cut in squares. And so I probably had 5 or 6 squares, little squares of pizza. I made a charcuterie board, so I had a couple pieces of cheese, a couple crackers, and I made potato salad, and so I had potato salad. And I will say that I had potato salad every day, so since I made it. So I believe I made it on Wednesday, and so I had potato salad every day since Wednesday. And then I had a piece of pumpkin pie, a very minimal piece of pumpkin pie with Cool Whip, but I did have an orange soda with my pizza. And then Saturday morning I made breakfast, so it was just scrambled eggs and bacon, and we did have cinnamon toast. And then for dinner on Saturday I was back home, and I think I had a bag of, no, that was yesterday, I had a bag of popcorn. So Saturday I must have had probably potato salad again. And then Sunday I had a bag of popcorn for dinner. So I must have just had breakfast and then had a bag of popcorn. But anyway, I got on the scales today and I was 2 pounds heavier. I'm going to assume some of that is the sodium from the pop that I had. I'm not sure, but it was disheartening because I think it would have felt okay, or at least not as bad, if I had overindulged. But I didn't, and that's what made this so hard, because I didn't overindulge. I'm going to flip this chicken again. For chicken breast, you want it to be at 165. And we're not close to that yet. This smells like it's burning. So I'll be honest with you that it surprises me about the butter. And it smells like it's burning. So I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and turn my fan on, but it does not smell appetizing. So if I were going to make this again, I probably would not do just butter. I would probably mix butter and oil. And all of the breading is in the pan. So I can tell you right now that I consider this not to be a win. So this cookbook does not have the nutrition information in it, so I ran it through that calculator that I found online. And for 1 piece of chicken, you're looking at 331 calories, 9.5 grams of fat, 33 carbs, because you're looking at both the honey and the breadcrumbs, although from the looks of it, we're not going to have many breadcrumbs because they're not sticking to the chicken very well. 1.5 grams of fiber, so that brings our net carbs down to 31.5, and 29 grams of protein. So good amount of protein, reasonable amount of fat. I just don't know that it's going to be worth the carbohydrates, especially since most of them appear to be sitting in the bottom of the skillet. So how did you do over the Thanksgiving holiday? Did you get on the scales? Was it too soon for me to get on the scales? Maybe that's a possibility too. Maybe I should have waited a week and gotten on the scales, because it was very discouraging. I think just the idea that I really didn't splurge that much, and 2 pounds feels like a lot. But I have to remember that I've lost 46 pounds. And so 2 pounds in the scheme of what I've lost is not that much. And it's very possible that a lot of that is retention from salt, because the pizza had salt, and I know there's a high sodium level in the soda. So it's very possible that that's part of it. Plus the pumpkin pie, it was a Marie Callender's pumpkin pie. I don't know what the sodium level is in that. Or in the Cool Whip. I wouldn't imagine there's much in Cool Whip. But, yeah, so I was disappointed this morning, and it kind of put a damper on my day, and I'm just curious how you did over the holidays. Did you find it hard to stay on track? Did you try to stay on track? And what was your experience like over the holiday week or weekend? I think the fact that this breading is burnt on the bottom of the pan is preventing it from coming up to temperature. We'll have patience. Okay, we'll take a bite out of this little piece that I know is done. I can taste the honey mustard. I tell you, I will make this dish again, but what I'll do different is I will marinate the chicken in the honey mustard for about 60 minutes. I'll put it in a Ziploc baggie and marinate it for about 60 minutes, and I will bypass the breadcrumbs, because there's absolutely nothing worth it on the carbohydrate side on the breadcrumbs. But the flavor of the chicken is really good. Yeah. So I think that's what we'll do, is next time just bypass the breadcrumbs and marinate it in the honey mustard sauce, which will bring our carbohydrate count down significantly. I'm sure that it'll be under 10 carbohydrates for the meal. So I think that would be a winner for us. So if you haven't already started following me on YouTube or on Instagram, Facebook, or on TikTok, my channel name is Healing Place Cottage. I have a website, healingplacecottage.com, where I try to post the recipes that are also in the description box on YouTube. And I hope that you like this video and this content. I hope that you'll tell me in the comments how you're doing on your diet plan and your way of eating. And I look forward to cooking with you again soon. Take care, everyone.